was the Hurt game in its most purest and most vicious, wasn't it?
I just run away with that. I had to. I was in the moment.
You've been missed, Spence.
Sorry about that. That was probably his most memorable win.
Welcome to Talk Boxing, the Q&A with Simon Jordan and Spencer Oliver. Don't forget to keep liking these videos, keep subscribing to this channel, and keep leaving, most importantly, the questions in the comment section below. But let's get to the questions. Spence, first one out is from James, who kicks us off with, who has the greater legacy in boxing, Alexander Usyk or Tyson Fury?
Right now, you can't deny Alexander Usyk. He's the undisputed cruiserweight champion. He's moved up to heavyweight. He's beat Anthony Joshua, become the unified champion. You look at the record of Alexander Usyk. He won the World Boxing Series, didn't he? The Ali Trophy as a cruiserweight. He beat all the big names: Gassiev, Marius Bradus. Who else did he beat? Marco Huck. Who else did he beat as a cruiserweight? There's a list of names that he beat. He cleaned up the cruiserweight division, become undisputed, jumped up. He's beat the Golden Goose, Anthony Joshua twice. But Tony Bellew, there you go. Yeah, Tony Bellew. And, yeah, you can't deny his resume. I mean, to go from undisputed cruiserweight to become unified heavyweight champion for legacy at the moment, as we speak, you got to go with that. I mean, Tyson Fury, brilliant. Wins a world title in 2015.
Do you have a legacy? I mean, we make cases for legacies, but do you have a legacy as a cruiserweight? How many legendary cruiserweights do you actually conceptualise in your mind?
Evander Holyfield?
Well, no. You conceptualise Evander Holyfield in your mind because he became a heavyweight.
Yeah, no, but he was a cruiserweight.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
We don't remember him for being a cruiserweight.
No, but Alexander Usyk's become a heavyweight.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, there we go. So legacy. Let's have a look at the legacy.
All right, okay.
So now we compare it against real legacies.
Okay, let's do it.
Because it's heavyweight.
Okay.
The legacies of cruiserweights, we remember Enzo Macaronelli, we remember Nathan Cleverly, right? They've got legacies in cruiserweights. Oh. But the real legacy is in heavyweight boxing.
Let's do it.
So Tyson Fury has to
No, you said as a fighter, didn't you, or not? Or was he talking about
no, they're saying in boxing. Right? But I'm suggesting that if you're going to say you've got a legacy, it probably needs to be in a marquee division.
Well, yeah, no, but I think legacy is all of it. Like where you come from and where you end up.
Because we've got this legacy.
Yeah, it's the legacy, right?
Legacy started with people like Muhammad Ali's of the world and those sort of things. And I think the divisions that give you legacies are the blue ribbon divisions like the middleweights and the heavyweights. So I would make the case, if we're going to compare Usyk and Fury in the same breath, it's got to be at the weight class that they're both in. It can't be.
But surely it's about their career, no? But anyway, if you want to do that, if you want to cut it down a little bit.
I'm going to say Fury on the basis that it's a heavyweight legacy.
Right, go on then. So what's he done as a heavyweight?
He took the belts off someone that no one thought we could do it.
Absolutely,
he broke up the entire monopoly that the Klitschko's have.
Amazing.
Scattered them, came back from a ridiculous
3-year break.
3-year break.
Yep.
Dealt with the hardest puncher in the division. Dealt with him three
Trilogy.
times.
Yep.
So I think those give him a legacy beyond. Now that legacy in perpetuity needs to be completed by another series of fights that he has to have.
That's the point.
But right now, today, as they stand in the heavyweight division, Fury has a legacy.
As a heavyweight, then Fury would have that. But as legacies at the moment as they stand, if they were both finished today and you looked at their legacies, you'd go, well, you'd have to go with Alexander Usyk on what he's done.
I see both arguments.
As a whole. Do you know what I'm saying?
I see both arguments.
You know, listen, where it ends up, I don't know. I think that, like you say, modern era, the best has to fight the best. We need to see Alexander Usyk in with Deontay Wilder. We need to see him in with Tyson Fury. We need to see Tyson Fury.
We're not writing a book here, Spence. Next one is from Ben Twiss. Who is the biggest disappointment in terms of a fighter that should have achieved more? I've got two.
Should I go first?
Yes.
Errol Graham.
Oh, you dirty swine.
I knew you was going to do that. I knew.
No, you can't go first. Cut, edit.
Yeah, go on, Errol Graham. You can't, the bomber, man.
No,
I mean, he boxed for the world title 3 times. Charles Brewer in his last fight. Hold on, Charles Brewer in his last fight. Mike McCallum he lost to on a split decision.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then the worst knockout I've ever seen of all time, Julian Jackson. In the 4th round when Jackson's eye was closed in the 3rd, and the fight, the referee goes, Jackson, you got one more round, and the fight's over.
Cleaned his clock, didn't he?
Errol goes out there, stands in front of him with his hands down, and gets bummed out, man. Like, yeah, but that underachiever.
All right, well, you've nicked some of my thunder, but I'm lucky I had two.
Give me your one.
Kirkland Lang. Not a bad one, is it? Not a bad one.
I was going to go there as well. Yeah, that is the best one, mate.
God rest his soul.
Right, so give us, do you want a little bit of history on
You got
Kirkland?
him. I just know
Right,
that
so
he was a great
Kirkland
fighter.
Lang, 1982, goes out to Detroit. Yeah, goes out to goes out to Detroit and beats oh my God, what's that? Roberto Duran.
I was going to say it's Duran.
Yeah, goes out there and beats Roberto Duran. Beats him on a split decision. Roberto Duran's just coming off the loss to Wilfredo Benitez. People that don't know him, check that guy out. He won the world title when he was 17, one of the best world champions ever. Comes off that loss, and then after that, Roberto Duran, after losing to Kirkland Lang, goes on to win 4 world titles at different weights and beats some of the all-time greats. I mean, Kirkland Lang, is such an underachiever. The biggest, it's biggest talent, the gifted one they called him.
Absolutely. All right, next question is from Swayze, not Patrick. We're not getting it through a medium. Who had the better pro career? This is going to be topical. This one, given the fact that his career may be up for debate now. Amir Khan or Kell Brook? Right.
So it's a tough one because Kell Brook, without a doubt, has the best win on his record out of the two.
Sean Porter.
Yeah, going out to America and beating Sean Porter in his backyard at that stage, 2014, massive underdog. That was a big win. And what Sean Porter went on to achieve, like 2-time world champion, beat some of the best. But Amir Khan's
body of work.
Yeah, it was that's it, Marcus Maidana. I mean, like, do you remember that fight in round 10? I don't know if anyone would remember this, but in round 10, Amir Khan was knocked down and hurt so badly that he was looking up to see how long was on the clock. He was looking up because when you box in the Olympics, they had the time clocks above the ring. So when you was boxing, you could look up and see how long you got left in the round. And he was that gone, he was looking up for the time clock. It was insane. And somehow he pulled himself through it and he got himself. That was probably his most memorable win.
Oh, I thought Devin Alexander.
Oh, that was when Alexander was clearly one of the great fighters at the time.
Was just poetry in motion in that fight. Yeah. So who better?
Yeah.
Who had a better career? Khan or Brook?
I'm going to say Amir Khan because of the names that he'd boxed and what he achieved abroad.
And therein lies the irritation for Kell Brook, because he was always the B-side of that conversation, which is why he was so delighted. And I'm sure over the weeks and months, Amir Khan's career is going to come in challenge now with recent situations on failed drug tests, but we'll see how that plays out.
Sure.
Next question, Spence. Dominic Golding asks, what was the better trilogy? Fury versus Wilder or Bowe versus Holyfield?
Bowe versus Holyfield.
Yeah, all day.
All day, mate. You go back. Anyone that's not seen that trilogy, because a lot of people would have seen this Wilder Fury fights, which were incredible, by the way, which will go down as a great trilogy. But you got to go down and watch that one. Bowe, Holyfield, man, they were insane. The Fan Man fight one, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Fan Man, and then like, I think what did really
fight one or fight two? But it was one of the
fights. Fight two, yeah. So Bowe won.
I can't remember. I just
it was one. It was one apiece. Anyway, I think Bowe won the first one, Holyfield the second, and then Bowe wins the third one. He stops Holyfield in the third one.
I mean, as far as in most recent times, we've not had a trilogy like Fury versus Wilder. But when you're taking it back 25 years, then obviously the very nature of Evander Holyfield being a cruiserweight coming in against Big Daddy. You know, and everyone thought that ultimately Riddick Bowe was going to walk through him, and just the sheer ferocity and endurance of these fighters was phenomenal.
What would you say? Just continuing in that question, what would you say was the best heavyweight trilogy ever?
Trilogy?
Yeah, trilogy.
Trilogy. How many times did Ali
Fraser was 3 times, wasn't it?
So, but that was 15 rounds, and that was like an exercise in absolute. That was the hurt game in its most purest and most vicious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because they're both going to hospital after fights. They're both, in a terrible state. I would probably say that. Can you think of any?
No, Bowe Holyfield. I just wondered if you thought that going back further.
No, but I think if you're looking at heavyweight boxing as it was, then Joe Frazier versus Ali will be it because of 15 rounds and everything that went with it.
Yeah, but Bowe fought. Anyone that's not seen Bowe Holyfield, they've got to see that because that was brutal.
Yeah, it was
brutal. That was bordering insanity in there at some point. So
was Frazier Ali. So was Frazier Ali.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, last question, Spence. Jamie asks, what's the most shocking result you've seen from one punch out of nowhere? One recently I always think of is Povetkin versus White.
Yep. That was a great one. I was there that night, actually. It was an August night, Eddie Hearn's back garden, freezing cold. It was a beautiful summer's week. We get to the fight night and it's freezing cold. When I say cold, it was like freezing.
That's great. What do you think is the most...
Wait, I'm setting the scene. I'm going to set the scene because I want to explain what that was because it was out of nowhere.
You're never getting invited
definitely
to Eddie
silent
Eddie
because
Hearn's
we was
house
in the
again, were
garden
you?
and the shot landed, pop, and you heard it. It popped, and as he was going down, he was like, "Oh my god!" Because it was such a shock because he was on the verge of getting that WBC title shot. So that was great. That was good.
Fantastic.
What-
You mean the
yeah,
example the
can
fellow
I-
gave us?
Can I answer the question now? Sorry, I just run away with that. I had to. I was in the moment.
You've been missed, Spence.
Sorry about that.
Another holiday.
Anyway, I would say Julian Jackson knocking out Errol Bummer Graham has got to be, because it was out of the blue, fourth round.
Yep.
Referee is saying, listen, fight's over. Jackson, you're done. Your eyes shut. You're going to give you one more
But you've
round.
already referenced Harold Graham in a previous question. So
Yeah, no, but I'm just telling you.
Another one.
What do you mean?
We've already had what was the greatest
All
disappointment.
right, I'll give you another one.
All
I'll
right.
give you another one. Andy Lee.
Oh, you scrubs.
Andy Lee knocking out John Jackson.
No. You've only just heard. You've heard me say that's what I'm going to say.
I'm only joking. It's your one. Yeah, go on. Give us your one.
Well, mine was Andy Lee at light middleweight knocking out John Jackson when he was getting his face pummeled in and just
Yeah, it was.
completely and utterly dropped
It was.
him
I'm
out
trying
of
to
the
think of
clear blue
another
sky.
one.
Think
I mean,
about
there's
it.
so many.
Oh, if there's so many, you must be able to name them, you
Nah.
scrote.
Yeah, but my brain's gone because I nicked your one. So I was so excited about dropping your one.
Really?
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
No, so you haven't got one.
Well, I'll just give you one. Julian Jackson, Errol Bummer Graham.
Okay.
And I was trying to talk about it a little bit more in
All
depth
right,
and you
okay.
get bored.
I'm getting
So,
a bit bored now. Right. That's
Yeah.
it, Spence. That's it, everyone, for this week's edition of Talk Boxing, the Q&A. Thanks for...
I've got one.
What, Spence?
Can I just give you one more? It's just come to me. Sergio Martinez knocking out Paul Williams. Oh, my God.
Really?
Check it out.
All right, okay.
Continue.
Very good. Well done. Right. Back to what I was saying, which was more interesting. That's the end of the show. Listen, thanks for watching us this week. Don't forget to keep liking the videos, keep subscribing to the channel, keep putting the questions in the comment section below. And me and old Brainbox over here. See you next week.